discuss things with him, you know, because when I see him coming home at night, just I'll run outside and, hey, Joe, and then I tell him.
And nobody else wants to participate?
Really? You kidding me? We barely got 3 people.
25%, right? 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, one quarter.
Mm-hmm. The fans off though. The fans, I can turn the fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would have gotten one more person, you know, Morehouse, when they were here a year and they moved. So I don't even know who that's in 906.
Oh,
They moved away already.
wow.
A place over at, Kilo.
Oh.
No,
So they said it's celebration.
they got for $1.5 million. The place they got over there, it's gonna be worth at least double that.
Oh, yeah.
They just happen to walk.
Got a good deal.
Some of those big ones are, I mean, if you have the money, some of those bigger houses around here are sometimes good. deals.
800 plus. That's what they got for 906, 800 and something. Cash.
Yep, I have seen that too.
Mansion they bought over at Aquila. Beautiful with gated private and pull into the park. It's huge.
Oh, they got one of the big ones, huh?
It's not one of the biggest ones, but I mean, the location of it and just the layout.
Well, good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as they put an offer in, there was somebody behind them saying, if you don't buy it, we want it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, honestly, God.
Thanks God he had the money right there.
Oh, yeah, at the right time, but
Yeah.
that would have been gone. Like if they waited another day, it would have been gone.
That's for you. You can take one. Oh, you just sent it.
Yeah, I just want to take pictures and send this thing. What are you laughing at?
Take a bit.
Oh,
Oh, these things, right? Yeah.
and I'll give all this to Joe, and I'll give it to Lisa too, when she comes, she'll be back here sometime in July.
Okay.
All right, let me call her and tell her she wants to dial in. So I gotta sign in here.
Yes.
Hand hurts.
What happened? What did you do?
It's arthritis.
Oh.
I gotta have surgery July 8th. They're gonna replace the bone, the joint. With like a
Oh, I thought you
titanium.
had heard it.
No, it's just old age, arthritis. But painful though, because it swells up in
It
all
is.
the nerves.
It is. I have in my hands too.
Yeah.
Touch here.
It's fine. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Did you get any paint from Regal? Did they get you any paint?
I sent him an email. I have not followed up. Let me talk to him again.
Okay.
I think I sent you a message that I had asked
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
And that same day he was in the office.
Ah,
I
Did-
just missed him. Yeah.
Ah.
When you sent me the email, just missed
you
it.
know what? You gotta send it to his wife. His wife is the money manager.
Yeah, Carla.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's super nice too.
So are we ready to start or do you want to give her a call first?
yeah, let me give her a call.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lisa. Do you want to dial into the meeting and you can see us and we can see you? No, okay. You're in your nightgown, aren't you?
Oh, you're out west.
She's in California.
Hi there.
Sorry, hi Lisa.
So, okay, we'll start then. It is 10:02 on June 24th, 2025. This is the annual meeting of the Blue Sage Townhome Service Area Association. Let's see here. Rose, can we verify this meeting was properly noticed?
It was properly noticed.
Okay, and with that, we'll call the annual meeting to order. We do not have quorum, but we can go ahead and introduce this year's Service Area Committee volunteers. We have Don McGlynn, Lisa Kucha, and Joseph Konopah.
Uh-huh.
Let's see here, somebody's joining online,
Mr. Charles.
probably so.
Maybe that's Joe.
Mark.
Mark McKeens. Good morning.
Morning.
Hi.
Mark.
Welcome.
So we just started the annual meeting for the service areas, or for the Blue Sage Townhome Service Area. As this is a 3 to 5 person committee, the committee was sat for the 2025-2026 with 3 volunteer applicants, and we thank Don, Lisa, and Joseph for their time and dedication to this service area for this next term. This is a 1-year term, and it will go till the next annual meeting, so most likely this time next year. We would, the only business we would have on the annual meeting, and then we'll close the meeting and start the Q2 the Q2 quarterly meeting, which is what you're most of you are used to seeing, would be the selection of a chair. To conduct business of selecting a chair would require a quorum. A quorum of a committee of 3 is still 3, as it is a 3 to 5 person committee, so it requires 3 to conduct any business.
Oh.
So, and without that, we can continue. You are SAT committee members. We just won't at this point select a chair. The only other items to discuss are just small housekeeping items of after this meeting. You'll, if you haven't already, the committee members are asked to set up their town hall email address and conduct business through their town hall emails. If the committee members have any issues with that, email town hall and we'll get you connected with our IT department to make sure that's fully set up. And I think that's mainly going to be it.
Mhm.
So with that, we'll just hold the chair selection till the next meeting that you all 3 are available to have quorum, and then we can hold the selecting the chair.
So Lisa, are you okay with your email now?
Perfect.
Okay.
And Joe responds, so
Yeah.
he's good with this.
All right. So fantastic. I guess, can we just have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion. You want to second it, Lisa?
Okay. And for Mark online, stay right where you are. We're going to just start up the Q2 meeting right now. This is where most of our business will be conducted in the Q2 meeting.
And who is Mark?
Mark, are you a
Hi,
homeowner? So are you a
Yeah, I'm
homeowner
in
of Blue
90
Sage?
I'm in 906. We're there mostly in the winter, but Don, I was just hoping to help with a quorum if needed. I promise to be of no use.
Oh, gotcha.
You're the new owner of 906.
Yeah, I think we've owned it for about 5 years. But we've spent more time there the past couple of years. 906,
906
we were
Blue
next
Sage?
to, yep. We were next to Joe and Bernie for a bit. We talked to Joe Batzer quite a bit.
Okay, I'm confused. 906 was owned by the Morehouse family.
I'm sorry, we're 904. There you go.
Okay.
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 All right.
And you live in Pennsylvania?
Correct.
Okay, you're the Pennsylvania people. Okay.
Well, fantastic. Welcome. So the quorum for the annual, let's just go ahead and start up the Q2 service area meeting. So again, welcome. It's June 24th, 2025. This is the Blue Sage Townhome Service Area Q2 meeting.
Call to order.
Yeah.
A verified quorum of the owners. We have Mr. Don McLean here, Lisa on the phone, and Mr. McKeens from 904 Blue
McKinnis, yeah.
State. Okay,
How do you spell your last name?
MC.
McInnes, it's McInnes.
okay. So we will start with our Q2 business. Service area items to discuss with Blue Sage. We have, done a recent walkthrough to check on the irrigation, because there's some irrigation situations on the back of the alleys. I was there with George and Don, and, Don walked us through some areas that he thinks that needs to be taken care of, like the roots in front of the properties that could be a hazard. And George has come back with an estimate, which I have just recently given to Don. So I guess you guys will review it and then get back to us
Okay.
on your thoughts on that, okay?
Can we get a copy of that to Mark?
I can send Mark a copy.
It's the estimates, did you catch all the estimates to remove roots? Where the trees have roots sticking up and people are tripping. And in the back of 901,
3905.
905, there's, concrete was destroyed when they removed the trees. So to patch those areas, okay, so that's what they're talking about. Do you have exposed roots on your side of the street?
I don't think so, not in front of ours at least.
Last
There's
time I
none-
was over there, I didn't think so either, but.
Yeah, no, I think
It's more
it's
in
pretty
your,
good on that
that
side.
side.
I will just say, Mark, as you mentioned, you're here to help if any quorum is needed. A quorum for the annual meeting of the homeowners is only needed if there was an election needing to take place. An election would only be needed if you had more than 5 applications for your committee. In that sense, it would require an election, which we would either do via a proxy mail, or it could be done in person if you reached quorum in room during your annual meeting. All of that, though, I bring up to say, they do only have 3 members of a 5-member committee. If you wanted to be on a committee or on the committee, you can submit an application, and I'm sure they'd love to have you.
Sure.
As that they would still reach a quorum level of 3, which meaning right now it takes all 3 of them to be in the room to actually conduct proper business. Right now, all of our Q2 meeting is technically just a workshop discussion, as we can't vote on anything without a quorum of 3 members. Where if you had 4 or 5 committee members, that quorum will stay 3, and it just may help you be in these meetings in the future.
If you want, I can send you the application, the volunteer form, and you can sign it and return it to me. Okay, when I also send you. Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. Send.
So Mark says, yes, he wants to join our committee.
Yes,
To the extent that I can help, I'm definitely there.
thank you.
That's great. Yeah, sometimes it just takes another body on the committee just to help with, so we can, continue to have quorum in meetings like this. Because I know that sometimes has been a struggle with Blue Sage, just it stays around a 3-person committee, and it's
Yeah.
hard to always get all 3 of them in the same room, which makes sense. So that would be beneficial.
With that, I have the code of conduct of the committee members. I'm gonna leave it here for Don, and then we'll send it to Lisa and Joseph, so they can sign it, and when Mark signs it, I will send this to, okay? This will be at the end of the meeting.
Okay.
So I don't know if you have any questions about your financials, Don?
No, Lisa, I'll send you a copy of that.
Okay.
I took pictures and I'll text it to you. Doesn't look that different from the previous one. Oh, did our money get invested?
Ray is working on that. As soon as he gives me the information, it's completed, and he gives us, we have to send that to the board. I don't know if it's, oh no, it was already.
That was approved by the board.
Yeah, so when Ray gives me he gives me like a sheet, he probably will send it to you directly.
So it's gonna happen soon then?
Yes, takes a few days until the bank responds and everything, but he's working on it.
So Mark, what the deal was with that, we have a reserve fund. And, our Blue Sage, finances. So we've decided we could take 40,000 of that out of like 60 some odd thousand and invest it in CDs, so it can be just,
That's good.
instead of sitting there and generate some income.
Yep.
I think the CDs rated range from 3.5% to 4%, depending on the current.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's an initiative that we're starting to try to do with all of the surface areas, looking at any just sitting capital in their reserves or in their operating, that it's most of it's earmarked for future projects. That's just a growing fund to probably cover. You just did a paint job, which is one of the two major uses of your reserve fund. Roof replacement is the other major one. So you're going to probably continue to see those funds growing year after year until your next major project. There is always some small expenditures out of your reserves, like usually there's just a couple $1,000s earmarked for landscape improvements on an annual basis. But outside of that, for the service areas, it's mainly those two large projects. You just completed the paint job. That showed us how much was remaining in the account. And that's why we wanted to invest those funds in here.
So the roof was done in 2020, March. So that should be good for at least another 7 or 8 years.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to bring up something. Did the gutters get cleaned? I noticed something was proposed.
It's on the board for approval. It should be starting next month.
Okay, so one thing I noticed when I was up in the attic,
Mhm.
and they were testing for leaks and stuff, I looked down and that gutter that I could see, the screen is all dislocated, not functional, it's out of whack. So that when the leaves start falling again, they're gonna be in there and, there's nothing to prevent them. So that needs to be addressed. Somebody needs to get up there, reposition those screens over the gutter, which, so it'll keep the leaves out.
Do all of your units have a gutter screening?
Yep.
In the whole service area?
Yep, and including the
Okay.
garages too, so those all need to be checked and repositioned. It's not a big deal, I mean, it shouldn't even take a whole day to do all that, but.
We'll have to talk to the gutter cleaning guys.
Yeah, we'll talk about them too, as
Yeah.
it may be an added scope or so, but in that sense, we still want to make sure it gets done. If there may be a small change order required.
It's just about them.
Clean them and
If,
don't pay attention to that, it's gonna make them even worse.
Mhm.
Because they're gonna be spraying high pressure water and it's gonna disrupt them even more.
Is it the same with the cleaners last year?
We're trying.
Okay.
Remember, it was sent for RFP,
Okay.
so, we have received, I think, 2 bids back. I think his was not there, but he did an excellent job last year. I would like him his bid to get in, and, he did a pretty good job last year.
Okay, so I don't know if repositioning the screens is part of that bid. If not, it could be.
He usually checks everything when he's there cleaning and, he let us know this is happening here and we will tell him, okay,
Yeah.
correct it and everything. So, yes.
Because we can see that from the attic.
Mhm,
Can't see the back because it's up high,
mhm.
and the garage, well, if we get on a lot, we can see some of that in the back of our, second story, but.
When we have all the bids, I always let you know and
Okay.
call you so you can check them
Okay.
and then we will select the vendor for him to start.
So you already put that out there. Dick.
Yes, it's on the website and we're receiving bids already for
You
that.
should do an addendum saying this needs to be part of your bid, repositioning the screens after you clean. Because how are they gonna clean them? They're gonna spray water in there, right? So, okay,
I have a note here to do that.
okay.
Thank you. And then, the other, thing that we were working, was for, George to do an estimate about some plants that might be needed or refills and stuff like that, but we're waiting for the roots to be taken care of before, so you decide. And the irrigation also,
Yeah.
because that's helpful. There was another area that, we had contacted CCD because it's in the easement, but they're saying that it should be George also, we had discussed before.
Yeah.
And so we will probably have to hold that until a bit later and then discuss that further. I don't know if you have anything else?
Lisa, do you have anything else? Any other concerns?
Yes, we always announce it ahead of time, yes. We will send a e-blast letting you know. But I will also copy you guys.
Okay.
That RFP is still open, is that correct? It's about,
It's closed.
it's closed, okay. We only received 2 bids back?
Yeah, well, we were contacted, don't say, because people's probably out of town or something, so,
To get a 3rd bid?
yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought. So just, yeah, an update on that. We typically need to try to get at least 3 bids. We have 2 after we close the RFP, so we're trying to source another one. So we can have at least competitive pricing on knowing that. It is what we'd call a master contract for all 14 service areas. We do that for buying power as it makes it cheaper, bringing them in 14 instead of 14 times over. So once we get that final bid, it'll be presented to the board. It's probably going to be on their workshop or as an action item on their July 7th workshop,
Yeah,
second Wednesday, July 9th. So the goal is that we would have that so we can put it on the Crow board packet for their approval on July 9th. And then on the 10th, we'll start working with the vendor on getting the schedule built. Once that schedule is built, we will be emailing every community with the timeline.
yes.
So it's still a couple steps away from getting that schedule out, but it's all in motion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. People don't realize the whole process.
And we have to do the spring pressure washing, the finances. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's me. Thank you. Just a quick overview on your balance sheet from year to date. At the end of May, your operating cash was about $3,000. Your replacement cash is at $62,000. And I know that that's the part of that reserve replacement is what is about to be transferred into a CD for you. On future balance sheets, you'll see that as replacement CIT, which is your city bank account, and it'll label as cash. And then it'll show replacement CD, which is going to show you what amount has been transferred into a CD investment account. On that.
And in the management report with the financials, they get like a schedule of how their investment is going on.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna have an additional line with information about your investments in your financials.
Okay, good.
That's how it's done. Like this.
Other than that, your year-to-date accounts from your operating fund are in line on most accounts. We're a little over on landscaping general. That's not your contract, but just additional expenses. I know the committee's is aware of that. We're slightly over on irrigation as we had a year-to-date budgeted $400 and we're at $1,300. On an annual basis, you're at about 1,000. So still about 300 over for the year if we don't spend any more on that. General repairs is up a bit as it's budgeted year to date at $900 and we're at $2,000. And then it looks like we've had a fair amount of roof repairs this year in the service area as that overall budgeted was $500 and we're at $2,600 in roof repairs this year. Just some things to consider as you are operating at a very tight operating balance in your operating fund, where any overages come out of any buffer or excess in your operating fund. So it's just something that we're keeping a close eye on and not recommending any unnecessary expenses out of your operating account for the remainder of the year. We are actually working on all the preliminary budgets for all service areas and in July. Late July, maybe the beginning of August, but we're trying to get them all scheduled for late July is a budget workshop with all of the committees. So you can see where we are in the process of writing those budgets. You may just see in your operating budget some increases next year, based on the expending this year and where your operating balance is currently at. We want to make sure it's written safely enough in a conservative manner that we're not seeing overages again, especially since there's not a lot of padding in the operating account. So nothing that looks like it's going to be a severe increase for your association, but we may see added funding on some of these lines that are a little over budget this year, as far as a recommendation goes.
So here's a question about the, what we're paying for irrigation. Since so many of the pipes are screwed up in the irrigation, I don't know where the water's going, if it's just going into the ground. It's raining. We're in the rainy season between now and November. Why don't we just turn off all the irrigation? Because, and it's so intermittent anyway with, the county. Let's turn it off because, like I said, I think there is irrigation water going somewhere, like in our back alley, but it's not going where it needs to be. Those pipes are broken. That water's probably just going into the.
Can you ask
So
AES for an irrigation report
why don't we just turn it off?
and a recommendation to lower probably because I'm assuming they're probably on 2 days a week right now,
Yes, everybody's running in the schedule.
on schedule 2 days a week. We'll talk with with AES and see that they're probably not going to recommend completely shutting it off, as we don't want to risk failure of any landscaping. I would start softer at maybe going down 1 day a week. But we can see, and I also think an irrigation report is necessary just to see if you're saying that it's not working properly, we should be getting.
What are we using and how much of it actually comes out? Sprinkler heads.
Let's see your water bill. Is it over? Because what I was referencing was your repairs,
No, they're not.
not your actual water expense. So your water year to date is under budget.
Yeah.
So that's good. Year to date, you had budgeted $350. You're at $232. No, that's an annual. So on a monthly basis, you're budgeting $70 for water. And in May, your water bill was $39. So you're not losing water, like in the sense of it, but it's it seems like it's just been repairs to your
We've already
irrigation
taken
system.
some precautions.
So that's not even a major expense anyway.
No,
No, the major expense was just and I mean, major is not even probably the best word, is like I said, you've spent on irrigation repairs $1,300 year to date. On an annual budget, you have $959. So
Where did those repairs go to? I mean, nothing was repaired on my side of the street that I know.
I will send you the invoices. I will check on the invoices, because there have been some irrigation repairs that have had to be done. I normally send the estimates, but I will check that and send it to you.
Yeah,
Oh, because it's costed at the budget meeting also.
that seems like a lot of money for something that's got no results on our side of the street.
let's see here.
So I don't know
I
if it's
could-
on Mark's side of the street.
I'll start to look, and we can look into that for you.
Yeah.
I haven't observed anything, and I think we met Neil and Amanda at the one end of the row. They might be 901. I think they've got
And 910.
910. It's the grass is spotty in front of there. I don't know if the irrigation is affecting that or contributing to the grass. Neil mentioned that.
Yeah, I spoke to her when we were there. I spoke to her.
Okay.
Okay. But I'll let you know where areas it was.
Okay.
Anything else? I'll start to dive into that too, to see if we can get that solved for you. Any other items of business, Rose?
No, that would be it, unless.
Lisa, do you have anything else?
Thank you for joining, Lisa. Thank you for joining, Mark.
Sorry, say that again.
No, I'm telling Lisa, thank you for joining.
Oh, okay.
And Mark. I will send you the volunteer form so you can have it, and the code of conduct so you can sign it.
Let's see here. I try to see. I think I get your irrigation repair information now. It was almost all in January. You had one irrigation repair bill for $174 in February, and you had a large irrigation repair in January of $1,100. So that's why year to date is over on here.
That's when you started probably checking.
So this is going to be for, so your your irrigation repair expense is broken lines along new sidewalk at 910, 911 Blue Sage, replace several broken heads, 15 nozzles, replacements.
Yeah, that's Neil and Amanda.
Okay, so that was done in January. So it's not looking like you're going to have extended expenses this year. So really, I think on a year to date, you're probably right in line where you should be on a budget. We don't expect to have any more on there either, so. You're not in a trend of continuing to spend, which is good. It was, and it looked like that was due to a sidewalk project. That was about the time, early this year was when they were doing a lot of those sidewalk repairs.
And then, so the ones that did the sidewalk repairs, they did them on 9/11.
910 and then 11.
Yeah. If they damaged the sprinklers, like they damaged the Wi-Fi lines, why weren't they responsible for repairing what they damaged?
CCDD?
If they damaged it, shouldn't they repair it?
Sure.
So why don't we go after them for that $1,000?
We have a meeting with George tomorrow. Let's discuss what
Yeah,
where
exactly where it was.
exactly where this was in the causes and see if it's something that we need to take to CBD or ECBD.
Yeah.
Because usually even on those, if it is something, George is one to let us know as well that needs to be fixed by ECDD. And typically, we wouldn't even do the repairs, they would conduct the repair work, which they have been doing as far as their sidewalk. If they've broken anything on sidewalks, they've been handling the repairs. Seeing that this wasn't handled by them, most likely means this is billed correctly, but we're gonna look into it for you. Okay.
Yes.
Because they did a terrible job of resodding on 9/11. You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
And
Was that with some like the sidewalk repair resodding? I know that is not done to the highest level. I know they throw it down.
no level. I don't know, did my highest.
It was 11. I was there, right? Yeah.
I know Rose is working with them on another service area with sidewalk repairs and the same issue with sod around the new sidewalk going in.
Yes.
So that was Enterprise, not CCDD.
ECDD, it's the same. Enterprise is ECDD and CCDD.
I said ECDD, so enterprise, because I was thinking water, but this is CDD because it's the sidewalk. The water part is part of the service area, right? So it's CDD.
Okay.
All right. Well, if there's no other business, can we get a motion for adjournment?
I make that motion. Lisa.
Well, thank you all. Nice to meet you, Mark. Thank you for your willingness, and we look forward to seeing the application, and we'll get all of that process to make you a committee member.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right, we
Okay.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Are you in town now? Are you in town?
No, unfortunately, I'm not, and we might not be for a little while. I was there just a few days, towards the end of last week.
Okay.
I'll say Don does a lot of the good heavy lifting for your committee. And I know he's always does a good job of making
Yeah.
sure that he reaches out to the committee members as well to make sure that it's all a consensus on things. But I think if you're willing to be on the committee just as a body and a sake to help, I know it will be beneficial to this
Love
community.
to have you. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Yep.
Because then Joe might drop off. Then we have no committee.
That's fair, true. It's always good to have to have
Yes.
four, so just in case you do have one resignation. All right, well, thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Yes.